Hello and welcome to this week's episode of I Think I'm Human Too. I am so excited. We are in New York. We have a new background, obviously. We're here with Miss Abby.
Catherine's like, oh, let's film the podcast. I just come to this freaking massive penthouse in New York. I'm like, okay.
I just bought this actually. Would you like to rent it?
I'm already getting a phone call. Sorry.
No, you're okay. Mine are always going off. So how's it going?
I'm good. This is popping my cherry for a podcast.
I know.
I've never been on a podcast before.
I feel like I've had actually a couple creators that have said that, and it's so shocking because I feel like they would have been on other people's stuff.
I know. I've never done one.
Have people reached out?
No one's ever reached out. I guess I'm just not cool enough.
No, I think you're cool. Maybe they're intimidated.
No. Why? I feel like I'm the easiest person to talk to.
I know. That's why I'm not intimidated because I've met you before. I feel like if I wouldn't have met you, I'd be like, who is she? Like, I'm scared of her.
I could get that. I think I have a little bit of like resting bitch face.
Oh, for sure. Me
but
too.
Do you ever feel like when people like meet you in person, they're like, oh my God, you're like just as nice. And you know, I'm like, was I supposed to be different?
Yeah.
Or
Did you think I was an asshole?
Yeah.
We got stopped at a coffee shop. Aaron's in the room with us. So if you hear or see me pointing at him, that's what it is. Yeah. Hey, Aaron. Hey, Ron. We got stopped at a coffee shop and this girl like came up to me and she was like, yeah, like I was a little intimidated to come say hi because you have a really bad RBF. I was like, I love the honesty, but like, thanks. Thank
you.
And
also, I just feel like it's weird to go up to people like in general, you know? Yeah.
My morning was a bad morning too. And I was like, damn. Like,
was this today? Oh, okay.
I haven't left the house yet today. Okay. So Abby's with Wasserman Creators. So we're in the same agency.
Yep.
I think we got signed right around the same time.
Like last year, beginning of the year?
Yeah, I think I was January 5th I signed.
Okay, yeah, I was like literally January 1st.
Look at that. Happy 1 year.
Oh my God.
I love it.
Yeah, it's been great.
Abby does more like beauty, hair. You do funny. I think that's what's so cool about you is like you'll throw in a zinger randomly and people are like, oh, holy shit.
Yeah.
You're actually really funny.
Well, when people are like, oh, like, what's your content? I'm like, well, it's fashion and beauty, but it's like basically just whatever the hell I want.
Yeah.
Or like whatever I'm like in the mood to post that day, you know?
I was at that lunch yesterday and people are like, oh, do you do beauty? I know. And I was like, I'm lifestyle. Like, I actually just got that invite. Like,
yeah. You're like, I'm just here.
I heard Abby had a lunch and I was like, I'm coming.
I love it.
Set me a seat.
But yeah, it's nice to throw in the funnies. I think that's what makes you more relatable, you know? Like, people like to see real personality.
Yeah. I'm bawling my eyes out. I'm laughing.
Right.
Cussing somebody out.
I would cry, but I'm a cold-hearted bitch, so I just like, can't even move myself to tears.
I wasn't a crier until, I was never really emotional until Raphael. And then I started like being real crier after my dad died. I was like over anything and everything.
You're like, it just flows.
Yeah. I'm just like, I feel like I just have a different appreciation for life. So like different things now. I'm like, because I used to be very independent and very cold-hearted, and I was like, nothing could hurt me. And now I'm like, love makes me cry.
Right.
Like homeless people make me cry. I'm like, oh, I just love life.
Yeah, I mean, and grief is just so complicated with processing emotions and all of that. So
we love that.
I can imagine the roller coaster you're on, babe. I mean, it's crazy.
So we got a lot to talk about. Let's dig in.
We do have a lot to talk about.
We got a lot. Yes. So, okay, in your words, describe like your life. Who are you if nobody knows who you are listening? Who are you?
Okay, if I were like on paper, if I were to be like, oh, this is who
I
am.
Back to 5th grade, first day of school.
Yeah, like what's your favorite color? So my name is Abby, if you do not know, Abby Baffoe, and I am a fashion and beauty content creator. But like I just said, I post a lot of different shit. Like I will post humor, I'll post some recipes, whatever I want, a little cocktail recipe.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. You do have a couple recipes up there.
We were going to do a little cocktail shaking up here, but next time.
Didn't get that one.
I live in Jersey City, but I'm currently moving to Manhattan.
Woo!
Going to some showings after this. I'm so excited.
Are you thinking a 1 or a 2 bedroom?
I mean, I would die for a 2-bedroom, but I'm just trying to be realistic here.
Yeah, BFFR.
Right, like what I have in Jersey, I'm like, lower your standards, babe. Yeah. Looking in New York, you know what I mean? Like what I have in Jersey isn't even a reality in New York. Yeah. It's like, I mean, it is if I had $30,000, maybe one day.
But it's crazy because you're literally 10 minutes across.
I know.
So it's literally just being
in the city.
Right. Interesting.
And it's interesting because I'll probably, when I'm living in the city, it'll probably take me longer to get to places than it did from Jersey because I'm going through the city rather than, you know.
It's crazy busy over here, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, how long have you lived in Jersey?
So Jersey, I'll be coming up on 2 years in May. But I won't even be there then. So almost 2 years.
Okay.
I lived in California before that.
Where in Cali?
Northern California for 2 years.
Okay.
And then I'm from Chicago. So before that, I was living in Chicago.
I love Chicago.
I know. I love Chicago.
Every time you go home, I'm like, damn, I want to come down.
I love Chicago. Clearly not enough to live back there yet, but Chicago's a great city.
Do you foresee yourself here forever, or you want to go back home?
Oh my God. It depends. I mean, realistically, I would love to go home.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I need to be by my like nieces and nephews. I'm one of 6 kids. I love my siblings. I love my family. I have so many cousins. Like when I'm bringing children into the world, I want them to be in that environment. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, as much as I would love to be like a Upper East Side mom, but
I could imagine that though.
Yeah.
I could see it. I could see you with a nanny though.
Yeah.
I could see you with a nanny. You're like traveling the world.
Listen, I don't give a fuck. I will totally have a nanny.
I love that.
Yeah, I'm like not against that at all.
When Abby and I were talking, I was actually shocked. You want to be a mom. Like you're very excited for that life.
Yes. I literally always say, I'm like, if the guy I was with at 22 would have gotten me pregnant at that time, I would have done it. Like I'm.
Which is so funny because knowing you online and only online, I would never put that.
Really?
Never.
Okay, why? Now I'm intrigued.
I don't know. You just live like such a busy life.
Yeah.
And I feel like you are just like that boss girl mentality of like, go, go, go. I just couldn't see you stopping for a kid. But the fact that her and I were talking last time I was here and you were like, no, 100%. Like when I have a kid, I'm like so excited. I'm ready to give it up. Like ready to be a mom.
That's the thing. Like I was always ready to give it up. And it's so weird because now I feel like I'm at a point in my life where I'm like, okay, well, if I've like waited this long, might as well like thrive out, in my 20s.
Yeah.
And
see, we go opposite. We talk all the time about like people are like, when are you guys having kids? And we're like,
I know, I'm sure you get it all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
And we're like, we want to keep living this for as long as possible. Like we have a lot of things we want to hit. Do we think a kid would take from? No. But
yes.
But yeah.
But also yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So I'm just like, I don't know.
I mean, I have sisters that have babies. Of course, it's the biggest blessing in the entire world, but it's a lot.
It's
and
a job.
Your whole life changes.
Yeah.
You change.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So one day. And then I'm like, when I do, I want to have like a litter. I want to have like 5 kids.
Really?
Yes. God willing.
Holy shit. I could imagine your little belly with like a little pregnant belly. It would be
Hopefully
so
I just
cute.
like get twins the first time or something and just like knock
I
out
hope I
two
get pregnant after you so I can click all your links.
Yes.
So
I know. I'm like, I can't wait for my like mommy era of.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun.
I love it.
That's why when people are like, well, what are you going to do when, you're a mom? I'm like, same shit. I'm just.
Right.
And now I'm a mom.
Right. I'm just teaching them what to do.
Yeah, right. Like now it's just mommy content.
Now I just got a buddy to do it with.
Oh my God.
Are you a boy or a girl? Like, what would you rather?
Well, I want both.
Okay.
But if I don't have a girl, I will just not survive.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Imagine you with 4 boys.
So I posted this video about how the way I justify buying my designer bags.
Oh, 100%. Every girl online does that. It's for my daughter.
For my future daughter. And people were commenting. They're like, you're going to have all boys now. I'm like, get that fucking juju, that bad juju out of my comments.
That's for the in-laws then.
I'm like, that's so rude. Why would you, I'm like, don't ever say that.
Then
because if I have all boys.
It's for the grandchildren. I would just be like, it's for the daughter-in-laws.
If I do have all boys, I better just love their girlfriends' wives one day,
I always say that's where that's where I'm terrified to have a boy is because I'm like, what if the girl doesn't like me or if I don't like her?
That's gotta be a weird.
And I feel like it's hard because at that age, there's like a certain age with a boy where they're like so in love and infatuated with their other half. And I'm like, what if she sucks? Like, how do you talk him out of that?
I know.
And then what if he's trapped and not trapped because he would have to do the pregnancy too?
Right.
I don't know. I literally go deep. I go deep as to why I don't want boys.
Right. And
so if my future son is ever watching this, I do probably love you.
She didn't want you.
I didn't want you.
Yeah. But you're here. And for that, we're thankful.
But you're here. And you're probably with your dad right now.
Oh, my God. Shout out Raphael.
Shout out to Raphael for dealing with him.
I love how I get that voice message from you today singing. And I'm like, what is this? That was
Boop,
so beautiful. She goes, oh, that was for Raphael.
Yeah. I'll randomly do something like that where I'll send like a voice memo and I'm like, oopsies.
I have never been big on the voice memos.
I love it.
You do it. Webs does it.
Only with certain people though.
My girlfriend Ayla does it.
Only certain people.
I should get on it because I'll like ramble off a text. I'm like trying to get my thumbs to move super, super quick. Then I'm like, why don't I just say it?
That's when it started. My left thumb. So in 5th grade, super random story, I broke both my growth plates in both wrists. I was ice skating and I shattered them both. And ever since then, like my wrists have been really weak. Like you can see, like I kind of like low-key have a shake every once in a while where like my wrists will be, if I'm on my phone all day, I'll be like, I look like I'm probably high on something.
Oh my God.
It's bad.
Well, I have like early on carpal tunnel because I'm constantly on my phone.
That's when it started. This thumb would get so locked up that I would physically be hurting. So that's when I started the voice memo. I was like, wait, this is actually really funny.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And they go away, no trail left behind.
Have you ever gotten the numbness from your elbow down?
Yeah, all the time.
It's actually from your phone. That's
Yeah.
from us being on our phone. I went to the doctor thinking I was like, I'm dying of cancer.
I know, it's like scary.
I know, I've like full on lost muscle, and it's normally when I'm in the car and like Raphael's driving and we've been in the car for a minute and I've been on my phone and I've like, you're holding it at an angle.
See, that's how I'm like at night when I'm laying in bed and holding it like this. Like I'll feel my arm like going numb. Like God forbid I just put down the phone and go to bed. But you know,
no, we're working.
Yeah, I'm working.
We're doing this for our
doing
future
research.
daughters.
I'm researching.
I'm creating, or I'm absorbing the content to create the content. You're welcome.
Exactly.
This is a full-time job. Okay, how'd you get started? Because you're from Chicago.
I feel like I have such an interesting story.
Tell
of
us.
how
I love her storyline, so I'm excited for you to share it because I don't feel like a lot of people know it.
Right. So I'll start with how I got into social media because I just think it's like such a 1 in a million like odds thing that happened. But basically, I feel like I was always that bitch that loved to post. Like even when like it wasn't even a thing yet. You know what I mean? Like I was taking pictures of like my shoes and putting them on Instagram before it was like
100%.
You know, really the thing to do.
Mine was Snapchat. That's how I started. I would post I literally was just I would post anything and everything on Snapchat.
Yes. Like I just loved it. I loved
people were always
the
like,
internet. Yeah.
So nothing's changed. Now I just get paid to do it.
Yeah, right.
You're welcome.
Nothing's changed.
Thank you for the haters.
But so basically there was this other influencer that I was following at the time. Shout out Morgan Lillian. I love you. She knows that.
I'm gonna have to find her. I don't know who that is.
She posted that she couldn't go to New York Fashion Week and that she was basically just like wanting to give this opportunity to gift someone the opportunity to go that was like looking to get into the industry or was in the fashion industry already. And she basically was like, just apply if you want, and you could go to my shows. You could like go to my events, like all under her name, but then the tickets were like transferred over.
Yeah.
And so
that's not a thing anymore.
I mean, could you imagine?
That's not a thing anymore.
Never in a million years with that. This was 2018.
That's how you know you're supposed to be in this seat.
Yeah,
though.
like that would never be a thing now. You know, they would not care. They'd just be like, if you're not coming, you're not going. You know? But my best friend sent it to me. Was like, wait, you should apply. Like, I feel like you think you're an influencer in your mind. Like, or, you know, like I could see you doing this. Like, you should just try, you know? And I was like, I mean, this girl has so many followers. Like, what are the odds that I would get, you know, a chance to do this? But I did it. And she literally picked me. Like, I got an email.
Crazy.
And within a week, I probably had like negative $2 in my bank account.
You were in Chicago at the time.
Yeah, I was in Chicago at the time. Just graduated college. And me and my girlfriend literally went and had the best time ever. We had to buy our flights. Like, those were not...
Like, credit carded it up?
I never had a credit card because I knew myself.
Damn. Good for you.
Yeah. I said, oh, well, I'll get into all this. But that's when I was bottle serving. Like, literally in my underwear, serving alcohol to creeps all downtown Chicago. But you make a lot of money.
I was going to say, you probably made bank.
Yeah, I made bank. So... no regrets because it's what I had to do at that
no
time.
Shame.
Yeah,
no shame.
Right. But yeah, no. So I used that. I don't even know how my best friend got out there because neither of us had money at that time. But we just like made it work. Like every time I'm like looking back, I'm like, I don't know how, but I just made it happen. Yeah. You know.
I feel like when you want something so bad, it all aligns, and you look back and you're like, how? But I'm not gonna ask questions.
Right. Yeah. And it's almost more fulfilling that I made it all happen by myself. You know. But yeah, I was like able to go to all these events and stuff, and I just was shook because also I feel like this was really a new industry. Seeing this, I mean, we experience it now every day. I'm still grateful. Like these events we go to, the PR we get, like it is absolutely insane. You know, it's such a blessing to be in this job. So like sometimes when I hear people like influencers, like I'm like, you guys be fucking for real.
BFF.
We are so blessed, and you must not know that because you've never worked a normal fucking job or like.
I've run into that a lot where I'm like, oh, what'd you do before this? And they're like, oh, nothing. And I'm like, that's why.
Right.
That makes, because when you
that
know
makes
what
you out of touch.
When you know what it's like to have to go back to a 9 to 5, signing in for somebody else, waiting for the 2 weeks to get your paycheck, like your life, you grind way harder and you have such a different appreciation.
Right.
For
now
sure.
we make pretty much our own rules. We have our freedoms.
Yes.
We have our schedules.
We're here on a Thursday afternoon.
Right. Like it truly is such an incredible job to have. But yeah, after that, I literally was just like, this is what I need to do. Like, this is insane, you know? And I met some girls that I'm still in contact with that are also still in the industry. And, like, I think they were just all so inspiring, you know? And they were, like, just doing everything that I love, posting beauty, cute little outfits. Like, I've always just been into all girly stuff. So I literally came home. I started a blog, abbybaffoe.com. I think it's literally still up. It is
it
still
really?
up. Yes, it's still
And
up.
you did like the full blogger content for a while?
I tried to be a blogger. Yes. Like I would be like,
because that was where it started,
plaids
really.
for fall. And I'd have like all my plaid outfits or whatever, you know? And I actually started this in college because I wrote for an online like little article, basically, like magazine. And I started doing that, and I was like their first person to start doing fashion content. So I was like technically doing it like in college even, you know? Kind of just like blogging essentially. So
Y'all know how much I love sharing Natural Cycles with you. I absolutely love that they've given me a code many, many, many times. Every single time they say, we love you and we love Human 2 listeners. We love working with you. Would you want to work with us again? And every single time I say yes, because I am a huge, huge, huge advocate for Natural Cycles. Every single morning I wake up and it's the first app that I check and I sync it with my Aura Ring. There is multiple ways that you can use the Natural Cycles app. We do have a subscription code for you to get the first year 15% off and a free thermometer. When I tell you how much I love Natural Cycles, we have been using it for quite a few years. We have not had a pregnancy scare. I have been trying to not conceive. So we get a big red circle that says use protection because we are not trying to conceive a child. But when we are ready, we will just transfer that over in the app saying that we are trying to get pregnant, and it'll tell me when I'm ovulating so I know when I want to be having intercourse so we can obviously try to conceive. I love Natural Cycles. I've said it so many times. I love that I don't have to have a hormonal birth control. I love that there's nothing going inside my body. I love that I'm getting to learn so much about my body. I love that I have the control over myself, and it's my favorite thing ever. So we do have a code for you guys because shout out to Natural Cycles for loving us as much as we love them. I will get the code for you here. Use code Catherine at naturalcycles.com. And again, that'll get you 15% off your annual subscription and a free thermometer. Again, that is naturalcycles.com, code Catherine, CATHERINE. And this is an ad. This is sponsored by Natural Cycles, as I've said. And I do just want to let you guys know, Natural Cycles is for 18 plus, and it does not protect against STIs. So please remember that. And happy cycle tracking.
like that's pretty much how I got into it. I mean, obviously things took off way more like with TikTok.
Yeah.
But yeah, I literally started trying in like 2018, and it was all because of New York Fashion Week.
Crazy.
I know.
Do you keep in contact with her? Do you like know her on a personal level now?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
well,
so
it's funny because
cool.
every time I like talk about this story, like I did a story time on like TikTok or whatever, you know, and so like obviously she sees them and like we DM randomly.
Is she in New York?
No, she is, and I think she's in. I don't know. I'm not going to answer that because I literally don't know where she's at. I'm like maybe California. You know I don't know. She's like always traveling too, so I literally don't even know where she lives.
Okay, so then you went back to Chicago.
Yeah.
And then you ended up in California for a little bit.
So basically, I came back to Chicago after New York Fashion Week, decided I want to be an influencer, but you literally start from nothing.
Yeah.
So me and all my girlfriends wanted to get an apartment together. I like didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, so I literally got a job bottle serving at the club. Mm-hmm. Horrible.
I wanted to do that.
I know, and I say that, and listen, take it with a grain of salt because people have different experiences. Some girls absolutely love it, and I understand that too, you know. But for me, I would literally cry before going in.
Aww.
Put on my little bottoms that my booty cheeks were out. I'd wipe my tears, and I'd get out there and do my thing, and I'd probably make, you know, $1,200 to $2,000 a night. So it was worth it. Yeah. It's just what I had to be doing at that time. Yeah. It's like you graduate. It's like, oh, here are your student loans. Here's this. Here's rent. You know.
What'd you graduate with?
I graduated with fashion merchandising degree.
Okay. So you've always been into the fashion.
Yeah.
Even through school. Okay.
Yeah. My goal was actually to like come to, you know, like FIT or something, but it's so expensive. So
what is it like being on the other side of fashion now? Like going to the events and like, what is that like?
Oh my God, so much better. And I honestly think anyone that works in fashion would agree. Like one of my best friends down here, she works in fashion, and it's dog work. I mean, it's like the devil wears Prada, but real life. Yeah. You know, like it's not an easy industry. People are very visual and know what they want and entitled, and you know, being on the other side is like a breath of fresh air. Yeah. It's just so much easier.
Do you have good experience? Because you're at events nonstop. Like how many events and stuff do you go to, you think, a week?
I mean, I could go to 2 a day if I wanted, but I'm more like selective now. Yeah. You know?
Which is good.
I travel a lot, so I'm not here a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But probably at least like once a week, I would say.
Yeah.
Now I'm back. I've gone to at least 2 this week,
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot. I mean, there's always something to do in New York.
Seriously.
There's an event.
It's exhausting.
Every single night.
Yesterday even, I was just like, damn.
Yeah. I know.
Granted, I signed up for it, so I'm like, it's fine. And it's such a blessing. But then you're like,
well,
realize
that's my
how
problem. I'll say yes to stuff, and then it comes, and I'm like, fuck, I don't want to do
so back to back. Yeah.
And like this weather's been so crap, but
see, I love it.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like moody cities though. I feel like it's fun because if it's like bright
Me
and
too,
sunny,
but not to go out.
True, but like if it's
I'm already a grandma.
I liked last night that it was kind of dead because I'm like it wasn't as hectic, and when we were like walking around, it wasn't like moving through people. I don't know. I just kind of liked it a little bit better.
Right.
I like weird weather though because I feel like everyone gets mad at the snow, and I'm like I love the snow because it slows people down. Like it forces you to like slow down.
Yeah, and I do love like a little cozy home moment, or
or even just like this right now. Like I love this view.
Yeah.
Like I like that it's not like blaring sun. I'm like
My
I'm
God.
weird though when it comes to that.
I'm like, I wish they could see this. This is so pretty.
It's insane.
Although I'm sure you're gonna show it later on, but
I will.
Yeah, no, it's stunning.
Okay, I want to talk to you about like because you are not even living like you didn't come from this lifestyle. You literally it's complete opposites. Like you just said, like you came from like in Chicago you had nothing.
Yeah.
And now you're literally living a completely different life. How do you remain even keel through it? Because this whole time I couldn't even tell you, like I could never tell you what you had in your bank account because I just always have known you as like a very humble and normal person.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's like such a new thing to me even. I think maybe that's why I mean, I don't think I'd ever like change my ways of like my mindset or how I treat people, but like it's also new for me, like I'm still navigating it because I mean, when I was growing up young, I lived a very privileged life with when my parents were still together, and then I would say probably around like 10-ish is when things started going a little bit, not as well. My parents split up, and then college was just really hard because, I mean, Jesus Christ, college is just hard, let alone having financial issues or responsibilities or, and I was working like 3 to 4 jobs in college. I was on food stamps and like no one knew that, I've always tried to, not like I was embarrassed of it, but it's like you don't really need to know the business,
I also feel like you're very big into like making it happen for yourself while still living the life that you want to live. Yeah. Which I'm kind of the same way where it's like if we're struggling mentally, physically, emotionally, any of that stuff, you would never really know. Yeah. And I feel like you're a lot the same where it's like just keep pushing and we'll get through this.
Right. And I also despise pity. I don't know why.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Like it makes me uncomfortable. Yeah. If that makes sense.
You're not emotional though in that sense too. So like opening that door, you'd be like, I don't need your...
Like I'm good. You know what I mean? Like I'm always like more of like a tough shell.
Yeah.
That I'm like, I'm fine, but yeah. So, I mean, college was tough, but I also feel like it made me a better person kind of. And people that I went to college with that now know, they're like, oh my God, I have such like a newfound respect for you, know, knowing that I'm like, oh damn, like I didn't really think of it that way, Something that we talked about before was like we've both been in places where you're not in a good spot and therefore you're just kind of like naturally a hater, when you're like not rooting for others. Yeah. And that just reflects so much on your life. Yeah. Like, if like I had a friend whose parents paid for everything, it's like, why was I mad about that? Because I hope to do that for my kids. Yeah. But like when you're in the situation, it's hard. Jealousy, envy kills. And I'm such a strong believer, and if you don't clap for others, it'll never be your turn. And it's hard to get yourself out of that because for so long I was like, why me? Like everyone else seems to be, it's so much easier for everybody else. You know what I mean? But as soon as you shift that mindset, I swear to God, the universe works in like mysterious ways. And it's just like, it's truly shifting your mindset. It's like law of attraction. Yeah. It's, just your mindset in general.
Raphael's the one that changed that for me. He always says your tongue is powerful and your mind is insanely powerful. But I feel like a lot of people, until they get the good, they don't have that mindset. Like the mindset doesn't shift until they see good. And it's like, that's where it's hard, where I try to advocate for people of like, you don't have to see the good to know that there's good. Yeah. Like just believe there's good. It's almost like having a faith and like having a foundation to stand on. Like if you believe that there's goodness out there and you can stand firm in that, whether it's good in your life right now or not, like that will hold you afloat until you see goodness.
Totally. Because like if you look for the bad, you're going to find it immediately. Bad. But if you look for the good, you're also going to find the good.
Energy attracts energy for sure.
Yeah. I'm such like a mindset person. So when I think back, I'm like, I feel bad for that girl myself who was like not really rooting for others. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I just think it was all part of my journey, to be honest. And like now I'm like obviously in a way better and blessed situation. So I'm able to like look back and recognize those things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I
was kind of like that. I was like that too.
I also feel like my family humbles the fuck out of me. You know what
Preach.
I mean? Yeah, like
Preach.
Family and friends, like that's what they're there for. You know what I mean? Like I would never even be allowed to be, you know.
My mom says all the time, "I'll punch you."
Yeah.
I'm like, cool.
I love that.
Perfect.
Sometimes, you know, you need to be
punched. My mom is not scared to say she'll beat the shit out of me.
Yeah, I know.
At this point, I think I could take her, but.
Oh my God. I'm not even gonna, you just made me think of a story of like when I did like clap back one time in high school with my mom. Yeah.
Did you really? What happened?
Well, I got my ass beat.
Did she really?
Yeah, of course. I mean,
I
well deserved, you know.
I remember the one time I told my mom to shut up and she backhanded me.
How were you as a kid? Like, how were you in high school?
I was good. Okay. I wasn't a bad kid.
I was a prick.
I was like what I always call a back burner baby, and like the other siblings always like took precedence. So I was always just kind of like very independent, quiet, not quiet in the way of like, you would never know if I was sick. You would never know if I was hurting or anything like that. Like I just kind of did my own thing. I did my homework.
Where do you fall?
Well, I have a weird storyline. So like when I was raised in Florida with my mom, I had 2 older step siblings and my older brother. So I was technically the baby. Then in Minnesota with my dad and my stepmom, I had my older brother who would come back and forth between Florida and Minnesota, and then the 2 younger boys. So I was like, I don't know, but it was always weird because the step parents in my family, like their kids were like the hierarchy of the family, which I get. Like I can't even speak to it. I don't know what it's like to be a step parent, but I was always kind of like the secondhand child. So I just kind of did my own thing, like very quiet. But like the older I got, that's where I really found my voice, and I stepped into like, no, I am a person. I deserve to like. That was
probably so freeing for you to like discover that.
Yeah. But also I worked through with my therapist of like, I was so independent to the point where it was like a fault. And I was like you for a long time of like, didn't give a fuck about anybody. Like you couldn't tell me shit. I was the biggest bitch. I was just like, I don't care.
Right.
Raphael was really the one that like was the turning point for me, because he was just like, he softened me. He let me like step into that like feminine energy where you can like.
Yes, I'm so into that.
Yeah.
I like, read a whole book on that.
It's so
real.
I couldn't even explain to you like how real it is.
Yeah.
And I think it's like cheesy even saying that.
Well, even to find it yourself, like even not in a partnership.
Yeah.
Truly finding your like divine feminine energy is so powerful for a woman. Yeah.
But I also love the independent background, because I'm like, I can go to New York by myself or with my brother and not be like scared, or like I feel like I'm good. I've got it taken care of. Like I'm not, I don't know. So it's different, but.
Yeah.
How does your family see like this life? What do they think?
I mean, one, they're my biggest cheerleaders and supporters. So like, it's so great to have them.
I love that.
My mom had 6 kids in 8 years. So we're all super close in age and just super close in general.
That's crazy.
But they're just constantly like.
6 kids in 8 years?
Yeah. It's like borderline sick.
That is sick.
It's sick.
Tell your mom I love her.
I'm like, there's like, yeah, Sherry's
we need
sick.
to talk, Sherry.
Sherry literally tried for 10. Funny because like when she would say that and then we'd like all be pissing her off, she's like, why the fuck did I have so many kids? I'm like, baby, you wanted 10.
You wanted 10.
You wanted 4 more.
You got it easy.
Yeah, I'm like, you're crazy.
She'd be like, the 4 more were the easy ones.
Yeah, right. Those would have been the golden children.
Right, those were the ones that were great. Okay.
I know.
So Abby was the face of Briogeo all last year, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess I wouldn't really say like the face of it, but they did a really big campaign.
I'm going to sell her. She was the face of it. I'm like, Briogeo, Abby put them on the map.
Shout out Briogeo. I love them so much. It's so funny because I've actually, when I first started like influencing, they were like one of the first people I got a PR package from.
Really?
In 2018, which is crazy. Like full circle moment. You know what I mean? Like it's just so odd to me, but yeah, they were one of my first people.
Did you see Raphael's video yesterday?
I was dying. Are you joking?
I'm like,
I'm crying. Like he kills me.
He's so funny because I'm like, we'll get into that story later. Okay, so you were on the billboards and your mom is literally the cutest human I've ever seen ever. Abby was posting videos like you guys were traveling and your mom would be like, that's my kid.
Oh my God, she still does it.
I love that.
Like half of them are down now. They're not even up. And like every single person we meet, I swear to God, my mom gets a cocktail in her and she needs to tell every single person around us. I love that though.
How does that feel to have that like support though? Because this is so new and a lot of people have like hate.
I know. I literally couldn't even imagine not having that. So that makes me sad for people that don't. Like, you're just so much stronger than I could ever be, you know? I even, like, made a video yesterday talking about, like, I can't believe people navigate life without sisters, you know? Like, that's
Did you see my comment? I'm like, I am people.
Yeah, I know. And, like, so many people were commenting, and I was like, these are like making me sad, you know? So it's definitely such a blessing to have that support in your life, you know? Female, strong, loving support. Yeah. Very grateful for that.
I love that.
My mom's a homie. She's the best.
She's literally the cutest human ever.
Yeah, she's wild.
Abby took her mom to Europe for 2 weeks last year? Immediately, I was like, I need the entire itinerary. And Sheila, get your passport together because we're going. God. I still am like,
no. Well, now we want to do a mom's trip.
I need to know the details. Yeah, we need to get Abby on it too. I feel like the moms would be really funny. Actually, I feel like Abby's mom would be like, these bitches are crazy.
My mom, I think it'd be opposite. I think your guys' moms would be like, what is happening here?
No, my mom is batshit crazy. Right, my mom is so fun. Like Sherry and my mom, I feel like are the same.
They would vibe.
100%.
Okay.
I feel like Sherry's just got a little more pep in her step.
Yeah, she does. She's got too much pep in her step for me. So
yeah, my mom would be like, okay, I'm ready for bed.
Right. My mom,
I can hang until I can no longer hang.
Yeah, no. My mom's the party girl.
I think it would be fun.
That gene missed me, I feel like.
That's okay.
Because my other sister, she's the party girl too, and I just don't have it in me.
Yeah. I don't have the
I'm fun.
Yeah, you're fun, but it's like I'm ready to go
But I'm not
home.
going to be the life of the party.
Yeah. Or like your video the other night where you're like, I don't have the FOMO. Like I'm totally fine. Not.
I know. I was like, what's the opposite of having FOMO? People were like, it's JOMO, like joy of missing out.
Yeah. No, that's
fear of being invited. Yeah. FOMO.
I feel like you've also, again, you're like your past and like now building the space that you want to be in. You don't have to like fulfill it elsewhere.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of times party people, not everybody, but a lot of party people are looking for something and they're like trying to fill a void because
they're trying to fill something.
Yeah, which is fine. Like we all go through that. I went
shake
through
your
that.
ass, go party.
Right. I'm like,
do what you got to do.
I'm like, Aaron was like, are we going out when we're there? I was like,
well, we are. We're going out tomorrow, so I don't care. You guys are gonna pull an all nighter.
She hit me with I need it, and I was like, okay.
I do. I need it.
I'm not in a drink. I don't drink anymore though.
I know.
I'll get a mocktail. I'm fine.
Yeah, like you could just vibe anyways. Like, I feel like I wouldn't even notice.
Yeah.
You know, like if you didn't say anything, I probably wouldn't notice.
A lot of people think I still drink, or like I'll get and like I just hit a phase where like it physically is like I'll get sick. When I was in Atlanta for Santino's 30th just last weekend, I had 2 glasses of wine and
like the night of you get sick or the next morning?
That night I literally got home. I tried to go to sleep and my stomach physically hurt. Like I felt like I had to go throw it up because it just like makes me sick. And then the next morning I woke up with a hangover off of 2 glasses of wine.
Yeah, no, I've thought forever, and even people in my family think that I am like allergic to alcohol because I get the worst hangovers ever. But something that I'm like, more power to you guys, people that do not drink when they go out, because I need to be drunk to go out. Like I can't be around drunk people sober.
You don't want to be there anyways. So you're like,
just don't have it in me.
Yeah,
right. I'm like, I barely want to be here anyways.
Yeah. I gotta be a little
buzzed up. Yeah.
That makes sense.
My little social butterfly, or social battery.
I think one of the last times I drank was actually out here with you when we went to dinner. And then I went out afterwards with Abby and a couple of the guys.
You guys went to like Butterfly Lounge and stuff, right?
Yeah, that was an interesting night.
Yeah. Yes.
We like pull up to this place. Mind you, they're telling us they're like, so me and other Abby, we went out with your guys' friends, but Abby went home. This Abby went home. And so
Grandma.
Which was fine.
Yeah.
It was fine, but we went out and like the guys that we were with like got us in. They were like, yeah, it was $10,000 to get in here. I was like, yeah, fucking right. You're high. But they like bought a table.
Yeah,
and
it probably was.
Was it really?
Yeah.
I literally thought they were shitting us. Like I was like, no, they're just joking.
I mean, I think a lot of guys like to exaggerate to make things sound bigger and better. So I don't know if it was maybe exactly 10 grand, but yeah, to get a table it's not cheap.
Yeah, they like bought a table. They had tequila and vodka. And then they come to us and they like go to like pour it. I was telling Raphael this story. They like go to pour it and they're like, oh, what do you want? I was like, water. And they were like, no, really? I literally turned to like girls standing around us. I was like, do you guys want anything to drink? Like that they were standing at the bar and they were like, fuck it, whatever. Like they gave it to the other girls. They were very nice. Like
that's actually hilarious because I could never imagine, and I was the bottle server, or someone saying water. I would love it.
I didn't know. Well, it wasn't a server. It was like the guys.
Oh,
that were like about to pour us a drink. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And they weren't like mad about it. And at first I was like, because obviously like these are new people that I don't know, but like I knew that you guys trusted them. So I was like, okay, I feel like okay.
Right.
And it was nice because we had like gotten to know them a little bit beforehand. But in my head, I was like, I hope they're not thinking that they're like gonna liquor me up and like I'm going back to their place. Like that ain't happening. And they were immediately
like, I'm a married
no.
woman.
I know. I was like, you guys don't know who my husband is. He kills people. Like, this is not funny. Like, he does not play.
Oh, my God. I love it.
He doesn't actually kill people. I was joking.
For legal purposes.
He does. For illegal purposes, he does. Don't worry about it.
can't. Oh my God.
But yeah, how's it been in New York, like living the influencer life? Like, cause you probably see, I get this question a lot. Like, people aren't who they are online, and then when you meet them in real life, you're like, oh fuck. How do you deal with that? Cause I was telling him actually the story of like, who are you? That I heard about, and I was like, I literally wouldn't like. I don't know how I would react.
Well, so I wouldn't say it's even specific to New York. I mean, I've been in LA. I've been anywhere. Yeah. But it's anywhere you go. I think like, people give more of a stigma for like New York influencers. I'm not really sure why, but I think it's just life. You know what I mean? Like some people are just not. They don't live up to like who you think they are.
Yeah.
But honestly, personally, I've had a great experience so far with like all the girls here.
I love that.
I've also like lived in Jersey, so I technically wasn't like in New York. Now I'm gonna actually be in New York, and I feel like I've been meeting a few more people. Like we just met Hallie and Jazz, who were great at the Briogeo event. So yeah, I just feel like I'm like meeting people here and there, but some people definitely suck ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you deal with it? You're just like, okay. Have you had like one where you're like an experience that you could talk about?
So I was just thinking about this one experience where I'm like, what does this mean? But someone was like, oh my gosh, you're so much prettier in person. And I'm like, I don't know if like
somebody said that to you.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know if that's like
I've gotten that from a follower.
Good thing. You know what I mean?
But like not another creator.
Yeah.
What'd you say back? Haha.
I literally said, haha. What does that mean? Yeah. Like,
thank you.
Yeah.
And you're fucking ugly.
Yeah.
And your personality sucks.
Oh my God, right.
And you need to work at icebreakers, okay?
I just feel like I don't even really put up with it. I don't really think too much into it. If I get bad vibes from you, that's pretty much it. I've kind of seen all I needed to see, But also, again, I think it's really important to understand that these are weird settings to be in. Like it's
uncomfortable for everyone.
It's uncomfortable for everybody, right? So like I take it with a grain of salt. You know what I mean? It's not like shit. People might say I'm weird at these events because I probably am. Yeah.
I was just saying that of like just yesterday when we were leaving the bathroom and you're like, oh, we should go say hi to the other end of the table.
Like why is that hard for me? But it's just
weird. I need to get used to that because I'm like in my head, I'm like the little fangirl where I'm like, it's not even like I'm a fangirl. It's just like, oh, I've seen you online. I'm sure they've seen me too. But it's like, who's to be the icebreaker here?
Right. It's like, who's going to be the one to say it?
Yeah.
Right.
It's so uncomfortable.
Because a lot of people won't, and sometimes people take that as an insult, but then I'm like, well, I didn't say anything either. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah, why am I rude? Yeah.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable sometimes.
I've always gotten that question of like, I've only met a few people where I'm like, I would unfollow them if it wasn't too noticeable. Like,
I know, I'm trying to think of someone off the top of my head that...
I've had pretty
This is actually a funny story, and I don't even know if I should be saying this, but I literally had a girl... Catherine, you're gonna die. At an event, was like, oh my God, like I follow you, like here, follow me back. And I was like, okay, so like followed her, like had a great conversation. I get back on TikTok and she copied one of my videos almost word for fucking word. It was like the same product and unfollowed me. Like I was just like, wait, what just happened? What the fuck just happened? Yeah, I was the weirdest.
Did you unfollow her?
Of course.
I would probably still follow her.
So weird.
I would have kept following just to see what she did, but I'm a weirdo like that.
Oh my God, I just like it was so odd to me. But that was probably like the weirdest.
Have you seen her since?
No, I have not.
How interesting.
I know.
I love that. People are so fun.
So I know. It's so weird. I don't know.
How do you deal with like the comments and stuff? Do you get any like bad? I don't really feel like you get a lot of hate online.
No, not really. I mean, I think it's inevitable. I also, my favorite button is the block button. Like, honestly, my block list is very, very impressive. I think I have like over 2,000 people on my block list.
Really? Yeah. I need to get better at it. I only block people that like make racist comments.
It's so therapeutic for me. If I'm just even in a bad mood and you say something I didn't like that day, I will block you. I'm sorry. I'm fucking protecting my peace a little too hard. Yeah. Mwah. Blocked. Yes, that's literally me. I'm like that sound so is funny. Me. Yeah. But yeah, sometimes I'm like, I think that they forget that we have that power to just make them disappear. Yeah, right.
We're still people too.
Like I could just hit a button and I never have to see you or your username ever again.
Yeah.
You know? But honestly, I think I saw Julia Fox say this. I also too feel very bad for people that leave hate comments.
Yeah, me too.
I just saw somebody that I know in real life post a hate comment on someone's video and I'm cringing for them.
Somebody else's?
Yes. And like I will forever think differently of you now. You know what I mean? Like Because when I see hate comments, I'm like, oh my God, like, I don't know anyone in real life that would actually even like take the time out of their day or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
And I just saw someone that I like know in real life and I was like, girl, oh my God, that is so embarrassing. Because I think it just shows what you're insecure about. You know what I mean? So if you're commenting on someone's looks, if you're commenting on someone's, you know, apartment.
What was she even saying? Like,
I'm like, if I'm too specific, she's totally going to fucking know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
But
I find it funny when it's like on Instagram and you're like, it's like, I don't know, say Kylie Jenner pops up, which I don't even follow her, but like if she came up on my thing and I see someone like fangirling and it's like I know them in real life, I'm like, wait, that's actually so cute. Like,
yeah, no, like that's cute.
I'm like, wait, I love that.
Yes, but on the opposite end of it, like hate comments, I'm just like, geez, who hurt you?
Yeah.
You know?
I've actually had a couple people, I was telling her this yesterday. My hair girl, Hannah, shout out to Hannah. I love her so much. She loves and follows your hair stuff. And she was like, I told her, I was like, Hannah, like, what should I do? Because my hair was so long and just like down in the front. I hated it. And she was like, let's do some layers. And then she like literally showed your photo. And I was like, that's Abby.
Oh my God, I love that.
Yeah. So you're out there. You made it to Minnie.
I'm in a lot of hair salons because I've heard a lot of situations like that where people are like, oh, like I've used your inspo photo or like vice versa. Like
your coloring is phenomenal too.
Thank you. Shout out Jordan. He was at Beaumont Salon. He's in LA. So.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I really only see him like once or twice a year, but that's like a testament to how good he is at coloring.
I was gonna say it grows out very well.
It's very like a lived-in look. That's what I always tell girls to go for, is a lived-in look. Unless you're like trying to be high maintenance with your hair, but I just think for lower damage and less money, less time, do a lived-in. Or
sitting there forever sucks.
Right.
I'm like, damn.
I know.
That was 4 hours.
It's a commitment. Can we talk about how expensive haircuts have gotten? It's out of control.
How much is yours?
I literally just went. Granted, I was like, keep feeling like, that's the thing. Whenever I go, I'm just getting like a trim. I'm not getting like a bob or like a whole new hairdo. So it's hard for me to justify how much. I paid $250 to get curtain bangs and a trim. New York. Yeah, that's what I fucking deal with.
Fuck up.
$250.
Okay, my hair girl Hannah. I was gonna defend her for a second because I was like, well, if she says like $100, I'm gonna defend it. Hannah like only specializes in cuts. She only does cuts. She flew to Paris to like go through like a training, like. So that I can get, where it's like you are a specialty, but $100 I didn't feel like was outrageous. But back
makes
home,
sense to me.
People are like, I can't justify that. Like my girl only charges $70. I'm like, yeah, but she went to Veda where everybody else went. Like,
right? Yeah.
So like I'll spend the $30. Like,
that's my thing. I'm like, I sound like an old ass like boomer.
$250.
But I'm like, when did haircuts get so expensive? But I'm like,
crazy.
No, but literally because I swear to God, I went to like Great Clips one day and then I started going to nicer salons. Yeah. You know what I mean?
But $250 I still feel like is wild.
That's a lot.
Did you see the TikTok where there was it was hairstylists talking about their prices in New York?
And that's the thing. And
there was somebody that was
like,
charging
I'll probably
by
get
the
hate
hour.
for saying that because it's also like, I mean, we're in the most expensive city in the world. People got to charge.
But $250 is still wild.
That's just a lot. And I'm like, imagine if I got my hair colored. Would that be $1,000?
The video was like someone was charging by the hour, almost like a tattoo session, and it was like $1,300 an hour or some shit for their coloring. I was like, are you high?
Yeah, I mean it's crazy, but some people will pay that, you know.
What is like if you were to get your makeup done out here, like what does a makeup artist charge for an event or something? I've always wondered that. So
when I did that Pretty Little thing, they actually had someone come glam me. Andrea, I love you, and I will have you glam me literally for the rest of my life. She's I believe in Jersey. I think well, I won't say she. I'll just give a broad spectrum of when I was looking into what people charge. Anywhere from like, I think like 3 to 7. It just depends on like the experience, or you know what I mean?
I can't. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Right.
I mean, I get it though. They have bills to pay.
But that's what I'm saying, right?
And their
like,
seasons
you gotta
are
do
so
what you
up
gotta
and
do,
down.
and I get that, baby. You know?
I've always wondered that. Like during Fashion Week, when people are like, "I need a makeup artist in New York City," I'm like, "What does that cost?" Like, I just want to know.
Yeah. Well, I do think a lot of them do it complimentary if it's for like a influencer, or if it's for a creator, but just to like help get their name out there and stuff. But yeah, it's not cheap. I mean, think about how much like people make for weddings that glam.
Mine was only, I think, $200. And I thought that was crazy. And ended up doing a lot of my own. Because I'm like very anal. I'm very anal. That will be me. Yeah. And I wanted to look like myself. And I still look back and I'm like, oh, I should have just done my own makeup. Mm-hmm. Not that she was bad. I loved it. It was great. And all my girls looked phenomenal. But I am just so like, I just wanted to look like I didn't even want eyeshadow, but I did it anyways. Because I was like, it'll look better in the photos. I'm like, I probably would look back, and if I did like this makeup, I'd be happy. Yeah. Like I would be fine.
Right. No, I'm the same way. And like, I hate getting my makeup done by anybody. Except for when Andrea did my makeup, like she's the only one that I look at the photos. I'm like, kind of looks like I did hard. My glam. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like just better, you know, me but better. So
your glam is phenomenal, though.
Thank you.
Like that wedding you had out in Chicago, that black dress event.
Yes, I love a black tie wedding.
I'm almost like I need to fly you out. I'm like,
oh my god, I would honestly.
It's crazy.
I love to do other people's makeup too. Actually, like that could have been my calling. I feel like I missed that calling. I feel like I could have done hair. I could have been in the beauty. For sure. Yeah.
You definitely have the aesthetic of all. But I think it's fun that you're living your life like getting to be on the opposite side of it.
Yeah. Well, it's like I do it, but
you
just
deserve
for myself,
it, though.
you know? So it's fun.
So you just got your yitties done.
I did. Oh my God.
How was that?
How fun. Our boobs.
I cut mine off, so
oh my God, I cannot believe this. Like, we are complete opposites.
Mm-hmm. It's fine.
So how was the recovery for reduction?
I had to take 2 weeks off. So I took the 2 weeks off, and then they were like, you're going to be horrible. But granted, for a reduction, they say the bigger you are, the worse the procedure is. Not the bigger the tits, but like the bigger you physically are. Okay. So like if you have a lot of fat to you, you'll get like and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, but there's like the more you have, they'll like put a draining tube in.
Oh, I did see that they have to do drains.
I didn't have to do that.
Okay. Because that's what I've heard is the most brutal part about a reduction is the drains and everything.
Yeah, I didn't have that. So I took the 2 weeks off, and they like prescribed me like all these painkillers. Like I literally the next day I woke up and I was like totally fine. The next day I woke up totally fine. But my mom was in Florida on vacation at the time. I booked a fucking flight and went to Florida. And I just hung out by the pool.
This was the story of my life, pretty much. Like I wasn't nervous about the surgery or the recovery or anything like that. Okay. I was more so nervous, one, about having an identity crisis, like waking up. I literally thought I was going to have like huge, big bimbo boobs and like feel embarrassed in front of my uncles and brothers. Yeah. And, like, it's just not that way at all. You know, I mean, it could like be Pamela if I went big. Yeah, style, yeah, right. It's like you get to pick the size, babe. So why are you acting that way?
See, you don't get to with a reduction.
Yeah.
That's the one downside. If it's being
some
covered
surgeons like switch out the sizing during surgery, even for breast augmentations, because it just is depending on your anatomy and stuff.
Yep. Your skin, your body, your shape, all that.
No, but I got it done, and the next morning I was at Cheesecake Factory shopping at the mall.
I love it.
Like it was so easy for me. Granted, I did over the muscle.
Okay. What's the difference?
It's a way less intense of a surgery.
Okay.
So under the muscle, they're literally cutting through muscle to place that implant underneath.
No, thank you.
Yeah, and that's the thing when people were DMing me like, I'm still in bed, I'm in so much pain, you know. I'm like, well, we just had two very different surgeries. Like mine was so easy, you know. Mine was just skin.
Yeah.
So I felt very blessed with my recovery. It was very easy. And now I'm like, I would have done it so long ago. Yeah. It's weird because one of my like, you know, like everyone has that video that they kind of went viral for. Mm-hmm. Mine was really, it sounds bad, but like embracing that I have a small ass. I have no boobs, you know, didn't really have like a curvy body and stuff. So I was so nervous. Although like a boob job was always like in the back of my mind, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think, you know, it changes anything about self-love or whatever.
No.
For me, I'm like, it's just not that deep. Yeah. But I just wanted some boobs.
Right.
But
or like, who cares if you love yourself without them? Love yourself without them. If you love yourself,
totally. And that's the thing. Like, I wasn't even super insecure without them. Like, if you go through my photos, like I rocked my body. You know what I mean? Like I low cuts. I love dressing them up. But it's also so fun to have them.
Yeah.
So
Abby had called me the other day and she was like, I'm panicking. Like, I want to do it.
She wants
and, like,
to do it so bad.
My advice to her and to anyone out there that's listening, thinking about it, if you're constantly in your head of like, I want this, you're never going to stop wanting it until you do it. And I always tell people, like, you will regret more not doing something than you will doing it.
Right.
And 9 times out of 10, it's just the anxiety of like, am I gonna hate it? Like my boobs I was fine because I was like, who cares? My
nose is scarier for some reason.
Nose was terrifying.
For some reason, it's your face. So
terrifying. And my job is like my fucking face. So I was like, this is terrifying. Also, like, sad side of it, like I'm the one of 4 who had my dad's exact nose, and I just lost him. So there was like part of it where I was like, and like my whole childhood, I was always telling my dad, like, my brothers got braces. I didn't get braces. I was like, you owe me for a nose job. Like, this is your nose. Like, you're paying for this. So it was never like a secret that I wanted a nose job. But when I went to go actually do it, I was like, that sadness there too. Yeah. And there was comments made from people in my family of like, I can't believe you're getting rid of your dad's nose. And I was like,
I dealt with something very similar.
It's whatever. So like I went through it, and then the next few weeks I had mad regret because like the nose is like even still, like I'm still very rounded and like it's not going to be like that in the next year. But looking at my face, I was like, I fucked up. But now I'm like, no, I look back at like old photos. It was like,
I've heard it's like a journey though for a recovery for a nose job. And
it's
like
up to 2 years before it's actually like what it's supposed to look like.
Right. Like I'm obsessed with my boobs. I'm like a perverted 14-year-old boy. Yeah. I look at them every second. I will show anyone and everyone. Yeah. But they'll look different in a year. Yeah. Like they're not what they will be right now. You know what I mean? So
when I got my reduction, they sat like flat at the bottom because the way that they stitch it, it literally looked like a triangle. Yes. And they're like, they're gonna drop.
Well, I look at like my one day post-op and I was obsessed with the way they looked. I literally was like, if they stayed like this, I'd just be so happy. I'd be fine. And I look back and I'm like, damn, they were like in my collarbones. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like they're starting to look more natural and like feeling more like real boobs.
They look good on your size too.
Yeah, I'm really, really happy with the size.
They do look almost like they're natural for you. Yeah. How big did you go?
So I did 250 cc's. So they say that.
Speak English. Cup size.
Okay, this is what I was going to say. So they say 250 cc's is basically 1 cup size up from what you already are.
Oh, so you didn't go like massive.
No, not at all. So, but that's the thing. Like if you're a C cup and you get 250, you'll be a D. You know what I mean? But like for me, I was an A cup and I just went to a B cup. Okay.
But again, you're so petite. So that's a lot for your body.
Yeah. And
like it's noticeable.
That's the thing. Like I feel like on my naked body, they look big, but they're like not. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like in boob terms, they're like a small B. Yeah. Which is not very large, you know? But yeah.
I was like a triple F, I want to say.
Damn.
They went to like literally they went to almost to my belly button. It was so large and they were so heavy. They took out 8 pounds. It was a lot.
Oh, it was a lot. My God. I was so like nervous about the backlash of it. And you know what literally got me through it is I was like, Victoria Paris said, we're all just out here customizing our avatars. And the fact that literally stayed in my mind. Wait. And I was like, you know what? You're right. Wait. I feel like I should have been born with nice B boobies and I wasn't. So I
wasn't. So here we go.
Yeah, I'm just doing what
And you loved your doctor, right?
I love my doctor, yes. I went to Dr. Manolis in Chicago. And he's just really good with boobs. Like, I know other girls that went to him and, like, just phenomenal results. That's what I feel like is important to, like, shop around, get comfortable, see results, you know, that you like. And it's, like, literally.
What was his price point?
So mine were $8,900. So he charges around that. So I went to 3 different consultations. I did one in Atlanta. It was $6,000, like a virtual one that one of my girlfriends went to.
Why did I think it was like 20 plus?
No. And then, so I went to one in New York. It was 14. They quoted me for the same size. Actually, I was going to do smaller, but, and then Chicago was like that middle point. It was like $8,900, $9,000. And
you're close to home. Yeah. So you got to stay home for a little bit. And
relax. Right. I got to recover at home. It was like a no-brainer for me. I know. I thought it was more too.
I was doing nose consults and I looked at 2 doctors out here.
How much is that? That's like
the ones out here. 30 for your, because like, you know, your first rhinoplasty is technically, well, granted I did a septo rhino, but your first one is like the cheapest because you haven't been touched before. They're not like reworking. But the second time, like say they like I got botched or something and they had to go back in, it'd be like 50 grand. It's crazy. Yeah. So that was what I got quoted out here. Then I found a doctor down in Virginia, right outside of DC, but he's like across the water in Virginia. I want to say he was 29, 30-ish. And mine was like 14. Okay. But granted, insurance covered, I think it was like 9 of it. That was like the septo
because it was the septo. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I had gone in wanting a nose job. Like I wanted the cosmetic. And when he like opened me up, he was like,
you're like perfect.
He was like, can you breathe? And I was like, yeah. Like, what are you talking about? He's like, do you snore? I was like, not that no. Like, I've never been told. Like, I'm a loud snorer. He was like, your left one is completely closed. That's why I always have a tissue because like he opened something where like he opened a gland that's been closed my entire life. So like the left side is completely runny right now. And he was like, your gland will catch up. Oh my God. Like right now it just runs. But no, then he was like, yeah, my cosmetic fee on top of it is I think like 4 or 5 grand that I had to cover on my own. Okay. Which wasn't bad. So I was like, okay, whatever. Right. So I got like because I had a divot here that was very noticeable. So I got that fixed. And then my tip, I was very like, when I would smile, it would like arch like a witch. And I got that. So that's why it's like very rounded here. Because this is all a graft. It's very hard. Like really? You see how like nothing, like my nose doesn't. Yeah.
Is there still like, do you have sensation? Like I have no sensation in my boobs yet.
My sensation is just coming back. Like I can just now feel this, but it still feels weird. Cause again, it's not like I can feel me touching the skin, but like it doesn't feel like my nose is in there. Cause it's like a graft.
Oh my God. It's so interesting. And I mean, this is so TMI, but like, I feel like I have the most sensitive nipples and now I can't feel them. So it's wild. I was like in Florida with my family and a full tit was just out, and everyone was like, "Your bathing suit is literally," I'm
off.
like, I would never know.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't feel a breeze, I can't feel a flick, I can't feel anything right now.
That's the one thing they told me with the reduction. They're like, if you have sensation, you'll probably lose it, or if you don't have sensation, you might gain it. And I never really had any, and I don't have any now, so it's like it doesn't matter to me.
Oh my God, I'll be a little sad if I don't get mine back, but I think I will.
Okay.
I
don't know.
Manifesting that for myself.
I never had it, so I was like, I don't care.
Wow. Oh my God, that's
they
crazy.
did say, they were like, yeah, some people like have it and it's like a big turn on for them. I was like,
Yes.
I have no idea.
Yeah, like
No.
it's a big turn on for me.
No.
But also like so sensitive that I could like cringe if it's not like a sexual thing. Like if someone like accidentally hit, like it's like
Really?
hurts. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, I know. So I'm sure it'll come back.
My other thing was I can't produce milk because they took my milk glands. So that was the one thing they told me is that I won't be able to breastfeed. Will you be able to?
Okay, so it's kind of like a once you get there you'll see type thing. But
'Kay.
my surgeon told me like, yeah, you'll be fine.
Okay. No, that was like they said the one downside.
I think also the under the muscle there's a bigger risk for that. Like,
Okay.
Messing up some of the ducts or.
He took them completely because I went in from under. So I did the anchor.
Wow.
And he was like, we're going to primarily take almost all of it. So you might not even, like your boobs might not even grow during pregnancy. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
I kind of like it though because I'm like solid.
Yeah, and right. Like you have great sized boobs right now.
Yeah,
So
I'm
you're
like,
then I'm
cool.
good.
I'll have like perky tits and this cool belly and I
Right.
won't have the pain. This is golden.
Right.
I'll buy formula.
I'll buy
If you're
formula.
judging, I don't care.
I'll buy formula. I'm not above it.
Right. I'm not above it.
No, and we don't mom shame. So I love that. But yeah, I think I'll be fine with breastfeeding.
Yeah. I can imagine it. I would like the bond of it, but I'm also like, if that was my one downside, I don't care. Now that we're on tatas.
No, I know.
Chi-chis.
I know. I mean, oh my God, my sisters that are breastfeeding, it's just like, it's such a commitment. I'm like, shout out to moms for real. It's crazy.
Yeah. I can't imagine. I feel like that's another thing is like my body, again, like you were like, I want to be a mom. I've never had that instinct. And I say that all the time. Like around
That's
children, I've
so
never been like,
funny.
Give me the
That's my
baby.
best friend. She literally is like,
But I don't
I'm
feel
like,
it
I
in
will
my
steal this baby
body.
right now. She's like, get this baby the hell away from me.
Yeah,
like,
no, people are like, baby fever. I'm like, no, that was birth control. Thank you.
I'm shocked. That's so funny to me how different it is for people.
I think it's crazy though, because I like see other people. I'm like, wait, you want kids? Like,
Right.
what?
See, like, I think I was put on this earth to be a mom. Like, that's
love
how
that.
I feel. Yeah.
I love it. I feel like we'll be no matter what. Like I feel like we'll be great parents. Like when the time comes. And honestly, the only reason
So you're not trying to have kids.
we're not trying right now. No.
Well, you're not trying right now, but you're not like your plan isn't to.
We've talked not end of this year, but beginning of next. We will talk
about it. Right. Okay, cool.
We want to accomplish. And
See, like my best friend is like, I'm not having kids. So you're not there.
I've always said no children until Raphael.
I love that.
But like, it's different. Like when you find a partner that like, because how many single moms are out there? I can't do that shit on my own. One, I don't want them. And now I have to do it on my own. Like, fuck no. Like that's just not for me. So I was very anal and like did not sleep around. I was just like too paranoid about it. And now I'm like, I know I wouldn't be alone in it. So it changes things for me.
Right. And it's crazy because when you get older, that's like stuff you start to think about more is like, oh, like how will this partner be as a husband or as a father? Or, like you're not asking yourself those questions when you're 23.
No, I say that all the time. I talk about that all the time. Like if I wouldn't let my husband or like my boyfriend at the time, right, talk to my dog that way, why would I let him talk to me that way?
Yeah.
Or like if he would do that in front of my child one day, like why am I allowing it at this dinner table? Like that's not okay.
Right. Or like you wouldn't want your daughters to see that behavior.
Yeah.
Or it's like,
Yeah. I've even gotten in my head of like a little bit of doing this job. Parts of me, I think it's cool that we get to like own businesses and do like our own life. And I want my kids to be inspired by that. But I also almost wish I had a normal job, like a 9 to 5, because I want them to know that like, that's still normal life, So I also look at that too of like Raphael's very big in not wanting to quit his job because one day he wants his son to know that like we do go to job, like we go to work, we provide, like, or a little girl, like your husband is supposed to like still provide for you guys.
So basically
like,
more of like a structured schedule.
Yes. He's very much like that though. Like very type A, which granted, like, because say our kids, what are the chances they're going to be an influencer living their life in New York City penthouse? Like,
well, I would just love to know, like, I would love to have like a crystal ball and see what it even will be like for our kids. Like who even knows if it'll even be
a thing anymore.
Right. Who knows? I mean, this could be a blip in our existence that's why we just were alive at the right time.
Right. People say all the time, like, I'll have someone make a comment of like, but you can afford it. And I'm like, but like, I'm not talking about like what Louis bag I can have right now. I'm talking about like, what the fuck am I going to do when I'm 50 years old and I'm no longer influencing? Like, I want to set myself up for that.
Yes.
Because I don't want to go back to accounting. Like,
right. I just started, getting into that, like, more long-term shit. Yeah. Like, what am I going to do for security long-term, I mean, we don't get 401ks. We don't get insurance. I mean, we can. We just pay for it. Yeah. But, like,
we just set that up for myself, for me to do, because I'm like...
And none of us are naive to think that this is going to last forever,
Yeah.
So...
I mean, it would be great. That would be so cool. Like, I'll continue to do my best and put my best foot forward. But, like, I'm also, like...
And that's what's cool about, like, having a community is, like, we grow together. You know what I mean? Like, I even have girls that are like, oh, my God, I followed you in 2018 when we were all broke and in college. Yeah. And, like you grow with each other, essentially. So, like, hopefully when I'm a mom, a lot of my followers will be moms. Yeah. Or,
And then you'll get a whole new community of people that are looking towards you and stuff like that. Or even people that aren't moms are still, like, it's so fun to see her growth. Yeah. Those are the people who I want as
I feel like this is, like, so sidetracked. But I feel like people that really want to get in, like, I'm sure you have when people are like, what are your tips to get into it? What is that, if you have, like, any advice, I just feel like my advice is, like, you got to love making content more than you want to be an influencer. You know what I mean?
This is something...
Like, at the end of the day, you gotta enjoy it.
So, we were talking about this yesterday, right? This topic. I say all the time, okay, influencer, when you think of that word, what the fuck are you influencing? What are you putting out there in the world? Think of that. And I always say, like, your intentions have to be good and have to be pure to succeed. Some people, like, they're bad people and, like, they just popped off because they had great lighting and they had a good storyline, whatever. But I'm like, the title influencer is so crazy to me because it's like, what are you influencing? You just want PR packages for funsies and, like, you just want to, like, that's great. Like, but that's not longevity. The whole point in an influencer is to change the trajectory and, like, to share the goodness, the bad, like, to be relatable. Like, when you go online, what do you look for? Entertainment, knowledge, or... like casual.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, sometimes we like to look at the fancy, shiny things, but like usually there's more substance behind it.
But the people
I do think it's enticing. Like, Jesus, I mean, like, you see these events, you see the PR, like, like, why wouldn't you want to be, in that industry? But I just feel like you gotta just...
And that comes with it. Yes, that's for sure there. But, like, just like you, for example, like when you're sharing your PR and always being like, I'm so grateful, like, that is influential to me. Yeah. If you're sitting here like, oh my God, like this, I can't believe I have to go through this all over again. It's like, people are paying $70 for that moisturizer that you're holding.
I know.
Just be thankful.
It's insane.
Like,
right. I mean, I can't believe PR is like a
no, it's crazy. My girlfriend and I she was over at my house and she was going through some PR and she took some stuff. Like, I was like, yeah, grab some stuff that you need, whatever. And we were at Target the next day and she was like, she made a joke. She's like, do you know how much this costs? Because I just got this from your house last night. And I was like, no. And I guessed. I was like, $30. She was like, it's $68.99. I was like, oh, okay.
I know.
I was like, give me that shit back.
Well, so my goddaughter she's like 16. Sorry if you're not 16, Haley. But she made like a list of the things that she wanted. Like Glow Recipe, Tower 28. Like, I had all of it. You know what I mean? Like, it's such a privilege to like have those big brands and like those big names that like, I can't even believe those brands want to like send shit to me.
They know my name.
Right.
And my address.
There was a card. It was labeled to me.
Right. It says, hi, Catherine.
Wild.
I hope you love this. I was like, oh, I hope you love this.
It's crazy.
I do love this.
And what we were also talking about before we got into this, like even the podcast episode, was how people say that like influencers are only become influencers because they already have the nice things, because they have the nice apartment. I'm
glad you talked about this.
Yeah. And and I agree, because listen, I see also, I mean, I'm not going to name anyone out, but people that have lived very privileged lives. And again, that's interesting to watch. I mean, Jesus Christ, I like watching the Kardashians. I love watching billionaires be billionaires. Yeah. And all of that. But a lot of people don't have that. I mean, look at like Monet, like Monet Michael. Yeah. Like, she did not have jack shit, Yeah. I mean, not that I'm like on her level, but I also started from not that, so I think it's possible to get there.
I don't even know her storyline
with that. Yeah. Like she was, was struggling.
Really?
Mm-hmm. She's just absolutely killing it now.
Yeah.
Beautiful apartment, also well deserved. I mean, I'm obsessed with her. Yeah. But it's just crazy. Like, I don't know. I always think back when I was first starting out, I had no shame.
No, me either.
Which is crazy because like I don't even know, like, it's hard for me to like film in public now, if that makes sense. Like it's like a little like off to me. Yeah. And I'm like, back then I gave no fucks. I would literally ask my friends, take this picture of me. Like I was a savage, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I don't even have that in me anymore. So I'm glad that girl did, because I don't even know if I would have it in me anymore.
I think it's because we're probably at a level where it's like, it almost feels, what's the right word? Like rude. Mm-hmm. Because I don't know. I just feel
like entitled.
Yeah. Like take my picture.
Right.
And I'm like, it's not like that. Like, but I've always been like that
I
where
know.
I'm like, I've gotten to the point now where I'm like, I go to film something and I'll be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, do you care if you're in this? Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But I used to be like, smile. Like,
right.
I didn't care. And now I'm like, I'm constantly being like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, I have people in my family who are like, I do not want my photo on anything. Like, don't put me in your video. Like, make sure I'm cropped out. I've even had people sign like media release shit now because I'm like, the stuff that I went through with my family, I'm like, no, everyone needs to sign something.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I would like rather eat glass than film a get ready with me in front of anybody. Which is so crazy to me. Like,
mine is the deep stuff. Mm-hmm. Even Raphael, like, I'll close the door.
That's what I'm saying. Like, in my own home, I was like, you know.
Mm-hmm. Because it's just like I think it's
but in front of my mom and sisters, I don't care at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that's the lack, when you feel like a lack of support or like almost like an embarrassment, you have like a different,
if you feel judgment. Yeah. It's not a safe space to do it, you know? Whereas like, I'm sure my mom and sisters are judging me, but they're just don't really care.
Yeah. They're getting trips to Paris. They're fine.
Yeah, they're not actually like really, really judging me.
Right.
You know, like
no, for sure. Or even like in front of Aaron this morning, I went to like go film something because I was like, we're in a fucking penthouse in New York City.
I know.
Abby, when I tell you as a young girl, like years before I started this, I was with an ex-boyfriend and his mom got us a trip to New York City for Christmas. I'd never been and I was
great gift.
Infatuated. The week that we were supposed to go was a blizzard in Minneapolis and there was no flights out. They had to cancel the trip. And I just remember being like so sad because I was so close to like living 3 days in New York City. I was so excited. And now I'm like, there is no way floor to ceiling windows is like for completely free. Shout out to Energy House for like letting us use this space.
My God. I mean, this
no
is
shame
insane.
in that plug there. But I'm just like, how is this my life? I went to like go film that and Aaron was in the kitchen. I was like, okay, stop. I'm going to talk about that later.
Right. Like, this is awkward.
As he's like, I can't believe I'm in fucking New York City in a penthouse.
I know.
Like, this is crazy.
I love how much you love New York.
It's crazy.
Because people, like, not everyone does. You know what I mean? I think for me, I feel so, invigorated by New York and the energy here. And I feel inspired. Yes. Yeah. Whereas some people feel overwhelmed and, like, need to get the fuck out, you know?
I would say, like, if Raphael and, like, the girls were here, I would love. But also I have that realistic, like, motherly instinct with the girls of, like, that's so unfair to have 2 dogs in a, like, they would not fit in here. There's
this is my daily struggle. Like, I want a dog so bad, especially now that I'm, like, getting an apartment in New York. And I'm like, I need, like, a homie there, you know? But I can't do it because I travel constantly. Not
only that, but it's, like, the times I've walked past a dog, like, peeing on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
It genuinely makes me sad.
Yeah, no, like city dogs crack me up.
It makes me sad for them.
There's some bougie bitches. They have like their little grass patch like out on their balcony. They're not like real, you know.
Yeah, they're just like, it's almost like a cat.
Yeah, I mean, if you have like some dogs thrive in it.
Like Ebby,
I would have a city dog if I was home. My problem is I'm not home. You know,
Ebby would be fine. Our little Wawa.
Like I'm too selfish. Yeah, like I would do it.
My short hair though, like the puppy, she would go batshit crazy. She would like, she got into phase like just even this last winter. Like it was her first winter of like not being able to go outside because it was so cold.
Yeah,
and she started. Like, she chewed up my vest. She's never in her life chewed up anything. She's never touched a single thing. But I'm like, there's so many dogs that, like, will start to rebel or, like, pee in the house because they're, like, they're cooped up and bored.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine having a dog here, though.
I know. I watched my girlfriend's dog. I mean, granted, she's, like, this big.
The smaller, the better, I feel.
Such a city dog. You know, like, the
little
would
vest.
be like, all right, let's go. She would, like, jump in the purse. I'd, like, go to lunch with her.
That's different, yeah.
I'm like, I feel like Paris Hilton right now. Yeah, like, some dogs are, like, they're that bitch. They're a city girl.
They're like, where's my
right. They're like,
water?
and I was made for Manhattan, you know? So, I guess some of them thrive. My problem is I'm not home. But I'm like, how am I 27 and I don't have a dog yet? Like, I'm such an animal person, specifically a dog person.
But that's why you don't, is because you have the love for them and you know that, like, it's just not feasible, which is fine.
I know. I'm like, maybe if I had like some family living here, maybe I could because then you have free babysitters. But
you just hire a nanny.
A dog nanny, right?
Yeah. Okay, so let's wrap this up. I want to ask you, what is something that if you were to share with people listening that you would want them to take away? I know we talked about this before. What's something that you want them to take away from you?
What I would say is, one, to take your past and use it to better yourself. I think a lot of people like to play the victim card or, you know, like, I think you have two paths with what you could do with like your childhood or your upbringing or, you know, hardships that you've gone through. You could either self-pity party or you could use it to be a better person. And I think that that's really important. If you're going to have a pity party, your life's going to be a pity party. I would also say be yourself.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's when things really started to change for me, was when I was myself, because it is such like a saturated industry, you know, and I just think being more yourself is just so refreshing.
Not even as an influencer though, just in general. Like as soon as you accept who you are and you work towards being a better version all day, every day, no matter what life path you have, you're going to succeed.
Right.
Energy attracts energy. I really believe that.
Yeah. Oh, that was going to be my next one, was mindset. I feel like it's like a cliche, but I'm so big in manifesting. I'm so big in like, you know, you're shifting your mindset for law of attraction and all of that. And I would just say, like, literally just try it. Like, it's so lame. I like write notes to the universe. And
I love that. That's not lame.
Yeah. And like when I started doing it or making vision boards, or I swear my life changed. Like just shifting your mindset is so important. And so just like, I don't know, pivotal for your life, honestly.
I believe that 110%.
Yeah. And like my vision board of, you know, goals for this year that I had, I've already like hit a bunch of them, you know. I just think it's important to visualize it and, you know, believe it. And my dad always said, whatever you believe you could achieve. So.
Yeah. If you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't.
Exactly.
I think it's crazy because the amount of guests that we've had on that have continuously told me that and you guys that. And I articulate that all the time. And
about like the manifesting, or about like if you believe you can, you will.
Everything. Mindset.
Yeah, it's all
like,
tied together.
Mindset is the whole thing. Like that's the umbrella of all of it.
Mind over matter.
Yeah. And the amount of people that have sat next to me and have said that, and I'm like, I wish I could just like go to every single person and be like, please listen to this. Like there's a reason every single person is saying this. Like listen to this. And I love it. And obviously like you're living proof that like the more that you believe in yourself, it happens. Like you're on a fucking billboard. Like
it's crazy.
And you just started with a silly little TikTok in your room talking about brioche, and now you're the face. I love it.
Which is so
not
crazy.
The face, but I think you're the face.
I love it. We're manifesting it for that year, for this
Where
year.
can everyone find you? I always say Baffoe, but it's Baffoe.
It's Baffoe. I mean, I feel like everyone says whatever they want. I get Baffoe. I usually get Baffoe, but it's Baffoe.
Really? Mm-hmm. I feel like Baffoe just flows better.
It almost looks right too.
Yeah.
Like, I get why people say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cause like the
You can find me on the internet.
On the internet. On TikTok, you're on Instagram.
TikTok, Instagram. Yeah.
I love it.
I feel like this next era for me is New York, baby. Yeah. Living in New York, which is crazy. It's a huge change for me.
Yeah. So. I'm always cheerleading you. Yeah. Always on the sidelines. I'm like, go, Abby. She's every single time. Girl. No, literally, I'm always like, whenever I think of you, I'm like, I have to text you because I'm like, this is so cool. Like,
I know
always
you
in
are
your corner.
Good at that. You're really good at that.
Because I've been so bad at it.
Yeah.
And I feel like in this profession specifically, we are like the 1% of the 1% of the 1%. You know, like not a lot of people relate. Not a lot of people understand. A lot of people hate or like have judgment from the sidelines. And I'm like, I want everyone to know that like I'm in your corner. I understand. Like if you ever have something to say or like just freaking call me, FaceTime me.
Yeah. Right.
Like let's talk. Because it feels less lonely. So.
Yeah. And again, it's like fulfilling. I mean, root for others. It will be your turn next.
Maybe that's what it is.
Yep.
Okay. Well, thanks for being on.
Thanks for popping my cherry.
Anytime.